Hey everyone, it's Sarah and Charlie from Hearth and Home Midwifery, and today we're here to talk to you about blood building in pregnancy. The first thing we talk to all of our clients about in terms of building their blood is to get started early with prenatal care. A lot of the time, if you work with midwives closely beginning in your first trimester, we can make recommendations that are specific to you based on the OB panel that we do the first time we see you. And that can really make a big difference in terms of being able to start some of those strategies earlier on so that you have more time to build your blood as your pregnancy progresses.
Your blood volume will expand by up to 50% throughout pregnancy. Usually, you've reached that 50% expansion by the time you're in your third trimester. So, it is really important to get started on things early to help your blood as you are expanding your volume to support your pregnancy in a healthy way. And having appropriate blood volume expansion early on in pregnancy is a great way to prevent a lot of the complications that do come up in third trimester that unfortunately our society at large doesn't talk a whole lot about. So people don't know much about it until you've already reached some sort of complication. So for example, if you have adequate blood volume expansion in your pregnancy, then you are less likely to develop hypertension at the end of pregnancy, high blood pressure, and you're also less likely to deal with other issues such as swelling and just feeling general malaise, and in some rare cases, developing toxemia, which is a form of preeclampsia.
Yeah, so other ways that you can consider helping your body to build blood is to really focus on dietary protein. We talk to all of our clients about getting 60 to 80 grams of protein in the first half of the pregnancy and 80 to 100 grams of protein in the second half of pregnancy, and that's every day. And that's for a singleton pregnancy. So if you're pregnant with twins, you're going to want to do even more protein than that. So most people are really able to get that amount of protein just by eating protein every time they sit down to have a meal and by integrating protein into their diet. But it can be really helpful to just check in and track your protein for a few days to a week to see if you're actually getting in that ballpark.
The second thing that we encourage everyone to focus on is adequate hydration. Hydration is so important in pregnancy for a lot of reasons, but one of the best things that it can do for you is to help your blood volume expand appropriately. You need water, you need high fluid intake to allow for this to happen within the body. So we recommend that people drink at a minimum half their body weight in ounces of water per day. And for many pregnant people, that's still not enough. So if you're experiencing cramping or headaches or fatigue, then that's your body saying that's actually not enough water. And so we recommend that be the minimum and that you go from there. If you're still thirsty, that you keep continuing to hydrate. And that can be upwards of 100 to 150 ounces of water a day for most pregnant people. And another great thing to do to support your hydration and to support your cells retaining the water that you're drinking is to use electrolytes. So trace minerals or Nude tablets that have different electrolytes in them. If you add those to your water at least once a day, that's going to help your body to absorb and utilize all the water you're drinking so that it's not just running through you.
A third thing we talk to a lot of our clients about is iron, specifically plant-based iron in the form of nettles. So we think it's a great idea to start drinking nettle tea in your pregnancy as early as you can and carrying that through the entirety of your pregnancy. Nettles are extremely nutrient dense and nutrient rich. They're a wild crafted food, so that means that they're growing in soil that's really diverse and has a lot of bioavailable nutrients, which is different from farmed plants. And they also have a really high store of iron that's highly bioavailable. So when you drink nettle, you're able to absorb a large amount of the nettle that's available, as well as all the vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients that are available in the nettle plant. So it's a really, really helpful tool for blood building as you're getting closer to having your baby.
And to go back to what Sarah said at the beginning of our video, starting care early allows for you to have assessment early on in the form of a complete blood count to check in on your iron levels. And it's a way to get a starting point for where you're at, and then you can continue to have your care provider monitor your iron levels throughout pregnancy and to make sure that you've had adequate blood volume expansion. We actually expect that there's going to be a drop in people's hemoglobin and hematocrit But we only are able to assess that if you've had blood work done early on, so that you can follow up on it later in pregnancy.
So those are our major tips for blood volume expansion and blood building in pregnancy. We hope they're really, really helpful. And if you have more questions, you can listen to the podcast, reach out to us for consults at midwives@hearthandhomemidwifery.com, or just check us out here on YouTube.
All right, see you next time.